Well, good morning, Travels with Dottie here. And I have a change to how I'm going to do videos starting today. And a great suggestion was made, and I think it's totally legit. And that is that at the beginning of my video, I should tell you what I'm going to tell you, what the video is going to be about. Even if I do a video where I don't know what it's going to be about, I should go back in editing and tell you in the beginning what's going to happen so you can decide and make a better decision about whether you want to watch a particular video or not. Because the last thing I want is you to watch a video that you're not interested in. I want you to watch the ones that you are interested in. So with that in mind, today, what's going to happen, it's a very different video today. We're in Eagle Nest, New Mexico. It's at 8,000 feet. So you can tell how beautiful it is here. And I'm showing you going into the little village here because in the center of the village, we're going to meet with a couple that owns a local business here, a sort of like a gourmet specialty kitchen shop, and they're selling that business. And I find it exciting, not just because they're selling the business, because I think it's an affordable business. I'll let them tell you how much they're asking for it, but it also includes an apartment out back so you can live here. You can live at the business. And I think that, it's a little tempting for me, but I'm more nomad than anything else. But boy, it's still a tempting thing, especially if I were a couple and you can do it as a seasonal business, meaning you can just do it in the summer, shut it down in the winter, or you can do it year round. And I had a little pre-meeting with them, and they have a special supplier for all their stuff. And it is there's an untapped resource where they've never gone online with selling things online through a website. So that opportunity's there too. And at the very end of the video, I'm going to go over all the different kind of financing options that may be available for you. So don't choke on the price because you're buying a business, you're not buying a home. So there's lots of opportunity. You don't have to have a lot of money to be able to do this. And you can live in what some people consider to be paradise, really. So right now, we're just at the edge of town here, the edge of the village. And you could run this business in the winter too, because there are people here in the winter, there are tourists here, because there are two ski resorts that are pretty close, and a third one maybe an hour away in Taos. There's a fishing place on the right here. And then there's this great restaurant for suppers, the Lucky Shoe Bar and Grill. And we don't usually do this because the sidewalks aren't for bicycles, they're for walkers, but it's early in the morning. There's nobody here except someone up there sweeping the sidewalk. We're going to go down the sidewalk to give you an idea of what it's like to walk down in the village here. And we're going to drive right up to the business that we're talking about. It's the Eagle Nest Mercantile. And we're arriving right now. And here we are, Zella's Kitchen Shop. Well, here we are outside the business, and we're about to go in and meet the wonderful couple that owns it. And they have a lot of enthusiasm about this business. And there's a lot of options here. You can operate it as a seasonal business, a year-round business, and you can live here. That's amazing. And hey, there's another thing too they're going to talk about. They don't have a website or any kind of web presence, and that certainly is a great opportunity for extra income that they're not realizing now. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you in the background all the things that they're selling inside. But what I'm going to be talking about while I show you that is all the different financing options that may be available for you. So one of the first things we're going to talk about when we go inside is the money, how much. Don't let the number scare you. Remember, you're not buying a home. You're buying a home and a business together, and something that hopefully will be profitable. Let's go inside and meet them. Well, here we are. As promised, would you guys introduce yourselves? And we're going to talk about this wonderful business that you have.
My name is Bridget Manikin.
And I'm Bruce. And you guys have been in Eagle Nest for a long time, right? You have a history here.
This is going to be our 20th winter.
Oh, 20th. Wow, that's amazing. And I understand that before you owned this business, you owned the Golden Eagle RV park.
Yes, we bought the Golden RV Park in 2000.
Golden Eagle.
Golden Eagle.
Golden Eagle RV Park. They call it the resort now, I think. But we bought it in 2006 and had it until, golly gee, about 7 years ago.
There are other owners now. Do you know anything about them?
They're our kids. We love it. Our middle son asked us when we said we were going to retire the second time that they were interested. So we told them they had to lease it for 2 years and make sure they could work together. And they've loved it ever since. And I think they've been there 7 years now.
Well, your son, he was one of the first people I met in town. And he told me something I'll never forget. He said, you hit the jackpot coming here because being in Eagle Nest is like going back in time 30 or 40 years. And he's absolutely right.
That is correct.
It is so true. We're a small community, less than 300 people.
Year-round.
Year-round. It does flare up in the summertime to probably over 5,000 plus. Mm-hmm. But it's just a beautiful community, great schools, and great people. I mean, we
spent 5 years traveling around the country buying and selling Native American jewelry with one intent, is to find a place to relocate. And when we found this, we had double rainbows over the lake and the mountain. We had a herd of horses running free. And I go by gut feel, pretty good gut. And it felt pretty good. So 20 years later, we're here talking about it.
Yeah. So let's get the thing that everyone's curious about is the money. We talked before, and he said somewhere in the neighborhood of $400,000 for the business, plus the inventory, which could be $20,000 or so.
Yeah.
Correct, more or less.
Depends on what they want.
Yeah.
And not have to talk about that anymore. I'll remind everybody at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about the programs that you can get really good loans on, both with the Small Business Administration, private companies, and even the state of New Mexico has a special program for rural small businesses. So, well, I'm going to give you all that information at the end. But right now, tell us about this business. Where are we starting? What is it?
So Zella's was established over 40 years ago. Zella came from Louisiana, and she established the jelly lines and some of the other items that we have. And people know her from ever.
We've had grandparents come in with their grandkids saying that when they were young, their grandparents came in and brought them into the store.
Okay.
So this is one of the hubs here in New Mexico, in Eagle Nest, that people know the name of Zella's, and they come year after year, time after time, just because it's Zella's.
So there's a base product here.
Yes. That's the main purpose for us to purchase this. We had a good friend have a good friend, Judy Montague, who had a stroke, and she ruined the business.
I have to show this. This is the book that Zella put out when she first started. And it's a book because we do get bears in town, and they do climb up the tree. And so she is no longer with us, Zella's, or the animator that did this work. But it's a book that actually the one book will go with the owner when they get it, because it's sort of great because it just tells all about Zella's. And originally she was over where Cloud 9 was. And so she was near the ice cream parlor. So they did an ice cream, but this is an awesome little book that tells all about the history and everything.
So if you own this business, you automatically become a serious real part of the history of cruise.
Yes.
Right. I mean, Eagle Nest has been around as a village since 1918. It was first called Therma, and the people wouldn't have it. So Therma got tossed out and it became Eagle Nest.
Yes.
Ever seen.
Yes.
And show us around and
So a little bit, one other thing, history about this, and the sign is up there. This originally was a saloon. And in the saloon, we didn't know it until we did the remodel. I want to do this picture. I don't know if this is the right time to do it.
On the floor, we stripped the old floor and put a new floor in, and there was a painting. We don't know who it is or where it came from, but that is on the floor underneath this floor right now.
oh, it's going through and showing pictures of the apartment here.
Oh, I guess so. Oops, sorry. I thought I just showed the one. But yeah, so that was there. Also after that, it was like a fly tackle shop, fishing. And the original sign is up on the outside of the building, which we think is really neat. But yeah, somebody that comes into this business will be established because the people know it. And it's just a history between the jams.
Zella's son has a place here in Angel Fire, and he came into the store last year, I think it was, and he stood there and looked around and he said, Mom would be proud. It just touched our heart because, that's what we're trying to do. We want to make sure that this lives on.
So some of the products that we have is Rada or Rada knives. These had been...
I never even noticed that all the time.
That's been in business for over 78 years. They have lifetime guarantee, and I've been a witness to them actually, somebody having their knife coming in saying they needed a new knife because something happened, and we called the company. They asked them a handful of questions and sent them a brand new knife.
Oh.
So a wonderful, wonderful company in the United States, U.S. Steel, and I can't talk any higher. Everybody
They used them for fundraisers in churches and schools for many, many years. The prices run from a little over $10 to a little over $30 for the top gun, and people come in and say they've had them for over 20 years.
Yeah. So the next line that I guess I would go to would be the jams that's been here. Zella established these lines. We have preserves, spreads, and butters. And I always tell people the preserves are the whole fruits. The butters are creamy, just like you'd think of a butter. And then her spreads are no sugar added. So it literally, they use a concentrate white grape juice and the fruit itself. There's no chemicals and preservatives in it. And that is just a wonderful line that they do. We bring in the maple syrup from Vermont. And we've been working with that company for a long time, even when we had the RV park. The other line we have, this is a small mom and pop company out of Roswell, and they do the chilies, and we carry them.
Green chili.
Well, that's a highlight.
Yeah, it's we sell through cases and cases. We order jams, all this stuff. We just got a shipment in, and the shelves are already empty.
We're proud.
I'll say this as a customer. Whenever I come in here, no matter how busy, if I walk over here, I get within 2 feet, and someone from behind the counter says, I have samples of everything you can try.
And then people love to sample things, and that's something that doesn't happen in so many places. But that was a tradition with Zella. She was always feeding people. She was always cooking up things that she had in the store and she was making, and we've continued that custom that she does, and we give samples, and people love it. They walk out here. We have people say, I don't want to sample anything else because I can't buy any more. And they buy one of everything.
I remember when I first met you outside on the street where I was looking for a cup of coffee, and I said, is there a coffee shop around here? Come on in, I'll give you some cowboy.
That's exactly. And then our other line here we have is Country Time. We really strive on getting things. It's all in the United States. We like to support as much as we can. Not that we can get everything made in or done in the United States, but a lot of our products.
But they're also simple.
Yeah.
These, you just add a couple of ingredients into the mix.
Our number
it's
one
done.
seller is our
No bake.
no bakes. And we have a cute story with that a gentleman,
They came in and bought two of them. One, a key lime pie, and the second was the triple chocolate cake. And the pie, the next weekend when we came, they were sitting outside waiting for us. They bought every single dessert we had. They're so simple. You take cream cheese, you take Cool Whip or
whipping cream.
cream, blend them together, put them in a prefabbed pie dish, and it's done. And people love them. That's just another. So there's simplicity as part of our process. We also have the specialty mustards, and an example that horseradish sauce, hot pepper bacon, which is not hot pepper, garlic mustard, all these. When you taste them, they're a step above the most. They're really, really outstanding.
And then oil.
And we do carry oils. We carry a small selection of oils. I honestly have to say I carry those and I sell them because we promote our kids at the RV park that wanted to do something, and they do oil tasting there. So it's a small line that we carry because people come into town here, but they don't always get down to the RV park, and that's important. Our tea towels, I always like stressing a lot of our tea towels and all of our things, we like it to give back. And they work with disabled and handicapped people, so a percentage of the money that on the tea towels. And a lot of times we have on the sign that says, come in for a good laugh. Well, we have a lot of fun listening to people come in here just cracking up and laughing. You know, it's just one of those things.
Like this one, I see no reason why box one doesn't come with a little straw.
Side.
One of my favorites, it says, mirror, mirror on the wall. What the hell happened?
I say that almost every morning.
So a lot of fun. The tea towels, and we have 2 or 3 different companies that we work with, but they're just all of them do. One gives back to feeding the homeless children. Our coffee, which like you mentioned earlier, it's labeled with our label Zella on it.
Oh, yeah.
It actually comes from Coffee City. He's a vet and he supports Wounded Warrior. And we, like I said, once again, like the idea that he's supporting a cause, and it's a small business. Our soups I missed by here. Soups are all freeze-dried. There's nothing in it, and that's my stress of everything. Too many times we have chemicals. Well, I tell people, if you read this, it's just got what it's supposed to have in it. So rice, beans, there's no chemicals, no preservatives. And people love that because we're going back to the fact that they want good products. Our honeys, we're the only one that carries this. It's a small mom and pop out of Black Lake Angel Fire that has some beehives, and they
Can't get any more local than 15-minute drive.
I'm a huge advocate of, if you have any kind of allergies, of wherever you are locally, consume that honey, because there's things in the honey from the bees and the flowers that immunize people.
Yes.
Certainly.
We have, that's why I say the food line and everything is phenomenal. We have another line here that I like highlighting. This is also another company. They are out of Virginia, and I have everything covered, but they've been in business since 1982. Our shelves are almost empty. We can't keep it stocked.
It's goat, and goat is the closest pH balance to the human, so it really blends in well and easy, very, very comfortable.
And I tell people we always have samples, like we do with our food. Put it on. It's good for your hands. It makes you feel good.
I think when I see 1982, when did 1982 become a long time ago? What happened? But it wasn't.
It was.
I graduated from college.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
I
goodness.
was 22 years old.
So, and then of course our wonderful line of all our kitchen things. Dream Farm is one of our big companies, designed in Australia. It's phenomenal. I tell people I've had one of these before I even took over the store for Judy, and did it because it doesn't sit on the counter. It's a measure. No, this isn't a measuring. This is a scoop, but you can get everything out of it. The bigger ones have a measuring in it, teaspoon, tablespoon, but we're the only ones in the area here. Angel Fire Black Lake, Cimarron, Ute Park, Red River with a kitchen store. So every time somebody
The one left potato, self-sharpening potato peeler.
I did. I had another shipment at home. So I restocked that.
I'm not pulling this up at random because the last time I was in the store, I walked up and this lady came in with a handful of these. She had come in a couple of days earlier and got one, and she came back and she said, "I'm buying every one that you have except I'll leave you warm."
Yeah, and she did, but she didn't know I had more at the house. So we have a warehouse that we stock everything in. But yeah, it's a phenomenal line. The whisk, everybody loves the whisk because your whisk gets stuck in the drawer. No, you don't have to worry. Flattens. This opens up. You've got your whisk, but in your drawer, it's flat. So you don't have to worry about it getting jammed in the drawer. So they really have some great technology.
People call this the gadget wall.
It's because I'm a gadget guy. It's my favorite part. And let me tell you something about their gadget wall here. You can go into Walmart and Dollar Store and see walls that look like this from a distance. But the difference is this junk. This is high. Everything that they select here to sell is high quality and practical. In some cases, beautiful. I mean, look at these.
Yeah, the wood. Yeah,
Furniture.
they're great. I think the nicest thing that we get the compliments of is we come here because you have the most up-to-date, unique, and quality at a good price. And I can say that I've had several people tell me, well, you're selling your dream farm so much cheaper than they do over in Taos. And they'll come here to buy it because it's cheaper. We believe in reasonable pricing, not gouging the people, and that's important with it. And bringing in things that you can't find. I mean, a lot of my customers will say, "Bridget, can you find this for me?" And I'll say, "Sure." It gives me a challenge to look for something that's new that you wouldn't expect.
We try to meet the needs of our customers rather than them coming and buying what we have. We try to help them get what they want, not what we have.
I'm going to ask the question on behalf of every skeptic watching this video, right? You do wonderful things in socially responsible business and high customer service, but can you make money doing that?
Yes, you can. You can. And that's just it. We use a keystone pattern. So for every dollar that comes in, every dollar goes, it's a dollar you make. It's seasonal.
We don't make a dollar for every dollar.
No, how did I say it wrong?
Not a dollar for dollar. If a dollar comes in, we make 50% of that.
Yeah.
Because we had to pay for the product.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected. So, but we're seasonal, so you have to be willing to work hard Memorial Day through Labor Day. And that is our main season. So we're here 7 days a week.
When it's an option, if I buy this business to operate it.
Correct.
It is.
And skiing people that come.
Oh, yes. There's an apartment right behind us. There's a door, a refrigerator that leads into the kitchen. So what they used to do in the past is that was wide open. Judy would be in the back doing whatever she has a bell on the door. Someone walks in, she comes out and takes care of business. So you're not stuck inside. You're doing what you need to do. There's ample storage. There's a nice place that you see.
We have been open on the weekends. I tell people the main days that we usually try to stay open in the off season when we've had people helping us is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because of course Angel's Attic is open. And Angel's Attic is another established business that's been here for a long time. And so people go there, then they come here. It does get quiet in the wintertime, but that's when I have so many people say, "Do you have a website? Do you have a website?" If you had a website, you'd be going nonstop. I ship out all the time. Just last week, I had a really cute thing that happened was a lady called me up and she said, "I've got to get more of this hot pepper bacon grilling sauce." She goes, "My family's going crazy and you ran out." I sent 6 jars out. So we mail all the time.
You don't have a.
I do not have one.
That's a great opportunity for a new owner.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you'd love a young couple that is enthusiastic and can do that tech stuff.
Yes.
Thrilled.
They would do wonderful with it. We do a customer card, which we give out. We think this is so important because the customer card has our name and information, but on the backside, for every $25 they spend, they get a punch. Now, what we do on this is at the end of when it's all punched out, they get to go shopping for 25% off all items under $100. And just to give you an idea of how many, we started this up again in April. This is how many cards we have gotten back. So
That's for this season only.
That's for this season only. And that's people coming back because they love it. But more than
The back of those, they're all checked.
they've stamped them all. So they stamped them all.
This season, I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Yeah. So this season alone, and sometimes I'll do it. So here's this one. So you figure they spent $300 and they came back and they spent another $42 to pay $31 on it. So
it's another way to draw traffic.
Here's another one. They came in, they, spent $300. So they spent $63. They ended up paying $47.
No, there's no name on there.
No names. No names. No name. No exposure. Just the fact.
One of the most important things are you're looking at nickel and dime items. These are not expensive. $10, $20. You got to have a couple items that people are willing to buy that are higher ticket dollars. Items. An example, outside we have these metal art pieces. We had a truck, like a 1950 truck that opened up. It was all welded, and I can show you some pictures later. It was over $1,000. We have these sea glass and driftwood pieces that are just gorgeous, that are other high dollar items. So they'll add that to it. So you're not just nickel and dime with the small items. You have some big items as well to help with the cash flow.
Yeah. Another line here, made in the United States and everybody needs it. We get older, are the jar openers. And these are phenomenal. And we have people come in.
Hate to say I got to use them more often than not.
I usually end up taking a piece of paper towel.
Yeah. And then we always carry snacks because people come up here and they get hungry. So this is our snack thing where you have all sorts of things. Our sourdough, which everybody thinks it's sourdough, but it's sourdough. All it takes is one carbonated beverage, either a beer or a can of soda, and it makes up a perfect loaf of bread. And up here, that's saying a lot because it's very hard to cook bread at this altitude.
And again, it's keeping it simple. There's not a lot of complications.
It's not complicated, simple. And then, like I said, most of the stuff, as you'll see and go through, are all sorts of kitchen things and gadgets, but people come up here and, I need it. We carry a line of, it's not glass.
Oh, what?
It's plastic and it's PBA free, and people love it because they're traveling in their motorhomes and they don't want that heavy, and they don't want to, we dropped it and it doesn't break. So that's a real popular line that we do with it, just different things. I do carry the glass ones as well. Same thing with the plates and everything. These they're really nice looking, but they're melamine. So you don't have. Yeah. So, and once again, they're not overly priced. So people love that fact that, $11, it's not where you're paying $20 for something that's a high-end quality type thing. They tell me, you can go to William and Sonoma or some other type of business, and there's things that are a lot more. So,
talk about the jewelry at all?
Well, we have jewelry. I guess we can. But this isn't something that is an option for anybody to carry what we have in Native American. Like he said, we used to have an RV park and we dealt with Native artists for 25 years. So when we came here, we decided to take and put our jewelry out and sell some. So, it's jewelry. Rocks. Nobody has rocks up in the area here per se with it. Kids love rocks. Everybody knows.
No, we have some rocks up at the museum.
Yeah. So, but we've had fun. Those are two passions that we have that I tell people. It's options of if they want to carry, but people love rocks. They come in. My little basket that I have down there that's almost empty. When we started out, this basket here was filled almost to the top. And it's just little pieces of rocks, and people love it, heart shape or different shape. And the kids can come get it and have a good
It's
time.
more of your jewelry,
That's
yeah.
more of our jewelry. That's a lot of our old pawn jewelry that we have. I mean, just we love the different things. I'm trying to think of the other thing that I would want to highlight. We do a lot is the Swedish washcloths. So a lot of people are getting very familiar with them, and a lot of Europe, Australia, and them, they don't use the paper products we do. You get one of these. In fact, there's a little flyer here that tells how much you can end up saving, that they last for months. Typically it says 2 to 3 months average wear, but I tell you, I've got some 2 years old and I'm still using them. They are phenomenal. So the Swedish washcloths.
Of course, we don't do dishes often. Bad joke.
So let's see, what else?
We can show you some of the metalwork outside.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
there's-
why don't you take them outside the metalwork and I'll grab the key so I'm ready.
These are some of the examples we're talking about.
Oh, beautiful little trailers.
And it's high quality. The wheels roll. You know, that ice chest I was talking about has rubber wheels that have air in them and they roll. You know, you have to have some neat things that people are attracted to that, again, have a little higher ticket mind. We end up having bags that are lined with zippers and a zipper inside as well. So we have other things that are attracted.
The leather shirt.
Yes.
So the young lady that does these actually does paintings too, but people love because they have the bigger bag. It has a zipper on it. It's got lined so that they can enjoy them, and beautiful artwork that she does.
And every year we try to come up with new items. So we're not just having the same thing year after year. We keep rotating.
Here's another
There's
one.
no shortage of artistic people up here producing.
No, there isn't. And there's another one of the big metal art pieces. But once again, it's heavy. It's well made. Each one of his pieces come with an emblem. This is our last piece of our rock work that we had. But these were big. We had bigger than this with the sea glass and driftwood, very popular.
We have smaller over here, the smaller ones on the front.
And originally, I want to say we had 10 different designs. We're down to 5 designs, and then 3 of the teak oak ones that we did. But
Teak wood, yeah.
yeah,
But
I didn't tell them about the alcohol beverage, but we have a lot of different items. I mean, it could take hours to go through. But we have out here, which people love, the little rock room, and people can see, like I said, but you could change this if you wanted to put other stuff in it. This is just the end of our line. We brought in some popcorn and some other things, and we had a 3-tiered stand full of it. This is all I have left. So,
All right, can we keep farming?
yes, let's go to the back here.
And
You do this real fast.
I'm going to stay up here in front.
Yep.
So
So,
if you need me,
a
you
real
know.
interesting thing. I'm going to do this and move this over. So when the place was done, and you can see for a long time, it used to be a custom that people would put their signs in how many miles it was to get to different places. So they would paint and they would figure out how many miles it took for them to get from their hometown to here.
And we
that's-
tell people if they create a sign similar to what this is here, we would mount it for them.
Yeah.
So we still have put on about 3 signs ourselves.
Yeah.
Princeton, New Jersey, 1,956.3 miles.
Yeah, so anyway, this goes to about just past these signs is your storefront. Then it goes into the apartment. And the apartment goes here. That's your kitchen, your island, your walking space. And it is a nice area. It goes all the way back to the road. So your distance, you have a good sized lot. I always say if I was young, I would put a garage in here. I would do so many things, but age does it. But this goes all the way, to the road over here. So your lot goes all the way back. It basically borders the telephone pole. These lines are sort of strange the way they are. something outside here that's getting me. But this goes all the way back to this road here.
Okay.
So that's your distance that you have from the building up, and you can see how you've got some room to do some things.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, personally, like I said, I would put a nice garage back here that it had, make your backyard a little larger,
Mhm.
you know, because you could, and you could just, I mean, it would be great. So could even add up if you wanted to, or add back.
So when you're actually in the purchase, you're owning the property. You're not leasing the property to
No,
someone. You own it.
You're buying everything. When we talk that 400, you're buying a prime street property
Okay.
on the main road. You know, it's, what would they, there's a name for that, but. So this goes in. Now we rent this out because we don't live back here. So it's a little wore down, but the metal building you've got, so you've got lots of storage space to keep your other product. And I apologize for a mess, but that's just how it is right now in there. And it goes all the way back if you want to step in and see.
Oh, wow. Plenty of room.
Yeah. That's why I say, ideally, what would be neat, build a garage. Put a garage in here. You could extend this back further. You could have a bigger backyard, but it's still got a nice little backyard.
Bet you can have your dog out here and not be worried about them escaping.
No, not them escaping. And it's got, you know, a little covered porch area here. Oh, she didn't even want it. Okay. So, oh, you're still here. Hey, come on in. I was like, she can leave. You won't leave. No pity. So this originally we say is the bedroom, but they've got it switched around. In here, this is the great room, I call it. So living room, big area.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had made it into a bedroom over here. You have washer and dryer included. It has over here your bathroom. So you have,
One
this
shower.
shower
Oh,
and
very
that.
nice.
And this is a walk-in closet you have.
Lots of room.
Yeah.
And a washer and dryer.
And a washer and dryer. Older, but they work so good. And then you come over here. And over here is your island kitchen that you have. This here, if you look, that's where that would go out to the store.
Okay,
It
so
just
you could
has-
do that thing where you have it open, you hear the bell, boom.
Yeah,
you're in
you
the
come
store.
up. And so you've got a nice that and your refrigerator.
So there's lots of different kinds of things that you can do here.
Yeah.
With yeah, there's lots of possibilities.
Yeah, lots.
Very high ceilings. I'd say that's 8-foot ceiling at least.
Could
Very high.
no idea. And there
Minimum.
is up
I-
here. You can actually, when you go in there, you can stand up and walk in there. And part of the this is the entrance to go in, so you can go up into the attic.
Oh wow, okay.
So that it has it. So, but good size. Like I said, there's a lot of potential for a lot of things for it. And this is where somebody, like I said, I always can think of things, but I keep telling people if I was 20 years younger, I'd keep it in a heart.
Well, here you could like you could fit a queen size bed
Yeah,
where
you
that couch is, and then in here can be a very large living room.
Yeah. Yeah. We have had it set up at one time. There was an accordion door that came across here. It was taken out, and we had the queen size bed in here. We actually redid all this. This was all taken out, re-insulated the walls, new windows, new wall here. Literally, that's why I say we put a lot into it, changing everything.
Now, have you been able to lease this out year round, or is it just?
The renters that we have in here now have been here for almost 2 years.
And what's the approximate rent?
They pay about $850 a month.
Okay.
So it's
And they pay the utilities, or you?
they pay the utilities for here. We're metered. Electric is separate between front and back. Now water, we do pay the water. It includes the water because water is for the whole building.
Gotcha.
But electric is separate. Yes.
And then there's gas. There's
And
propane.
then there's propane.
Tank out
Yeah,
back.
and that's the propane tank for there. We do not have the store set up with any propane in the wintertime. We just put an electric heater
Okay.
in there and we put it on low, and we redid the whole front of the store there when we did it, and we took a lot of those walls out and we re-insulated because it was 100 years old, just like the floor. So everything's been redone, mudded, changed, new lighting. I mean, literally so many things we've replaced and done and cleaned it up because it needed an uplift. And so you've got a place that's basically ready to move in, and you're not going to have any major problems for a while. I mean, you know that as you go, things age and you do, but overall, you're not going to have a
So
problem.
I'll ask the question for some viewers that are like, wow, I'm really interested. Now I know there's no, it's for sale by owner.
Yes.
So how do they reach out if they're interested?
So the best way for them to do is to call at 760-835-1803. That's 760-835-1803. And call or text. And if we don't answer the phone because we're busy in the store, leave a message and we'll call you back. But we would like to work owner. We will work with the escrow department, and for not only the escrow, but an insurance, not an insurance, but an attorney that will set up all the paperwork so that there's not $5,000 or $6,000 that you have to pay out to somebody. You know, we want
Right.
to make it reasonable for somebody to get in here and enjoy the business. We'll work with them. We'll take them to the first show so that they can learn and see what we've done. But
The first show?
yes. In January, there is a show we do in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll help them out and show them what we do if they want. Well, you know, we want somebody to grow and we want it to be a positive situation. And that's really important to us because we took it over just because we did not want to lose it in the community. We've had people constantly come and say, I've been coming here for, 20, 30 years. And the only reason they stopped is because of this, because they knew Zella and they just had built a bond. And I think that a new couple coming in can build a strong bond and do the same thing as we have. It's just, it's got it in its bone structure.
And you could even buy it and change your name to Zella if you wanted to. There's this guy that runs a solar shop in Quartzsite where I go, and he bought it. It's called Solar Bills, and his name's Gus. And I said, I noticed you didn't change the name of the business. He said, are you kidding me? All the goodwill is set up. I'll change my name to Billy Bob if I have to.
Exactly. You wouldn't want to take Zella's off because Zella is, it's a family history. Time and time again, we have people from all different ages that come and talk. And the neatest thing is they say, and we're bringing our kids or we're bringing our grandkids here. And that's what's built it. They love the products. They're good quality products. They're products you don't find everywhere else. And, it's a good feel.
Any final message you want to leave with viewers on this?
Oh, golly gee, you might have to stop that and ask my husband. He's better at that than I am.
Well, let's go ask him if he has any final word.
Kim, he's the better one than me. I'm not. I often tease. I
see him right there.
Yeah. I tell people he's my social butterfly. Johnson.
So your wife said that you can do the final word. You can just hang on to that, hon, for today's video. Anything that you think we might have missed? Anything important about the business?
No, it's a lot of fun. You work with a lot of good people. And as the previous owners that we used to say is you go home happy, tired. It's fun. It's you're putting smiles on people's faces and it's heartwarming and immensely satisfying.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Well, as promised, I've got my research on what financing might be available for something like this. And I'm just going to in the background here. I just went through and filmed everything I could in terms of what they're selling. And before I get into the financing, it is incumbent upon you, if you're really serious about this, to find out if you can get financial statements from the owners, um, preferably audited, to show what kind of income, sales and income they're getting out of it. And there's a lot of research you need to do to see what kind of income you might expect out of this business. So the first option is an SBA, Small Business Administration 7A loan. It's those are available up to $5 million. They require 10% down for business acquisitions that include real estate. For example, if we're talking $420,000, it would require $42,000 down. It can cover everything: real estate, goodwill, inventory, and even some working capital for the first season. Can be real estate portion can be up to 25 years, other business assets up to 10 years. So I'm assuming, and I don't know, but 400 would be the real estate and 20 would be the business inventory. Maybe some portion of the 400 is goodwill. You'd have to get, I think, some kind of real estate assessment on the value of the property. It's advantage to is it's pretty easy to wrap the apartment storefront and inventory into one road. The disadvantage is slightly higher rates than conventional commercial loans. Then there's the SBA 504 loan. It's possible, but less likely because the property value really dominates. The structure is usually 50% bank, 40% SBA through a certified development company, 10% borrower down. 25 years on the SBA portion, bank portion varies by the bank. Lower fixed interest rate for the SBA portion. The disadvantage: can't easily use goodwill or a lot of inventory. Best of property is most of the purchase price. And that's what I think the case is here, but remains to be seen. Then you've got conventional loan, commercial loan. It's a small deal, but local banks or credit unions may do it. A typical 20 to 25% down, so much more down. 15 to 20-year term on the real estate portion. Variable rate time tied to the current prime rate. Less paperwork than an SBA loan, but there's a higher down payment. It may not finance any goodwill or seasonal working capital. And then there's the combination financing. You can get an SBA 7A loan for business and property and a small line of credit for seasonal cash flow. So those are the some of the options that I found. In the description, I have websites and companies you can go to for each of these options to get real life answers. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep in mind, I don't have any financial relationship with these folks. They're not paying me for the video. I'm not actively trying to sell that on their behalf. I just really liked the store. When I heard they were selling and trying to do it on their own, I offered to do this video. That's all there is to it. And they did offer to give me a little something in terms of a little bit of product, like a thing of jelly or popcorn or something, and I politely declined. So I want you to be able to trust what I say on the channel and not wonder if somebody's giving me something to say XYZ. They're not. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is, depending on how much is left here, I'm gonna maybe play some AI music so you can look at the rest of the inventory here. And if you don't want to do that, just bail here or scrub to the end or whatever you want to do.